Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum. There are a couple of panel members already in the Hangout, so I'll pass over to them and say a very warm hello to Slick James Johnson and Paul. Can you hear me, guys?
Hello.
Hello.
Nathan, good morning. Good morning.
Very good morning to you too. Hoping Ranty will join in a moment. I was just chatting to him on Skype, but it's far easier to actually just chat on the Hangout at this particular point as I'm setting it for the main show.
Well, while you do that, I'll take this air time to cover a thing or two.
I'll get a coffee.
Alrighty. I would like to talk about Friday when we had Spurs Chemo on, and him and I were in a conversation, and I caught him in a trick. And like I always encourage, as soon as you catch someone in a trick, you shut it down, because the whole idea is for them to pull that trick on you and keep it sliding and kind of slide right on through it. See, so I couldn't really shut him up, but I had to get out of the conversation to let him know that the trick was uncovered. But he decided that he was going to keep on talking anyway. And I noticed what he said was, well, you know, the problem with Slick is it's okay if he sees the world the way he sees it, but what if other people listen to it and they pick it up? Now, when I heard that, I'm saying to myself, well, wow, that's really interesting. The way I see reality is I just accept it the way it presents itself. And he's trying to say that that's a problem if somebody else does that. That's very interesting. With all the murder, the crime, the rape, the kidnapping, his biggest concern is someone accepting a reality as it presents itself. See, that's not the problem. The problem is I don't have a belief system, and he needs a belief system for his whole world to function. All this religious stuff, it's all nothing but a belief. So when you have someone like me who comes along and speaks, I'm sorry, go ahead, Nathan. So when you have someone that like me that comes along and speaks against beliefs, that's a problem for these religious people. See, globe people, heliocentrists, they're religious, and so are these other religious people. See, so this is the problem that people are having with me. This is why you are seeing me getting hit with a barrage of questions, because people need to stop me from talking this belief stuff because it's destroying their artificial world. We'll talk more about that later.
Hello.
Hello. What's going on?
Hello. I think Nathan's going to get him some coffee.
How are we all?
Warped, you gotta mute your mic, Warped.
Mute it or turn it down?
You need to, well, until you're speaking, you should just mute it, because you're making a lot of noise in the background.
While my coffee machine's warming up, can I get a word from Paul or Ranty, and Mindwalk for that matter?
Hello.
Good stuff. Ranty, you there? Clearly not. Can you say something else, Mind Warped?
Sorry, what was that, mate?
I just need to hear you talking just so I can level you up. That's perfect. That's good enough for me.
Yep, sounds all right.
Yeah, you sound perfect.
Cool.
Starting in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, no worries. How have you been?
Me, I'm all right. I'm great. I'm going to be away from the
That's
mic for
good.
another 2 minutes, though. Otherwise, my coffee machine is old and it tends to overpressurize and can explode, which isn't so good.
No worries.
When
So
you
what
say
have you been up to,
pressurized, is
Slick?
that an espresso machine or?
I
I
saw you
talked
over
over your
at
mind more.
the.
If you might try that again.
Oh, that's all right. I was just saying to Slick. I saw him over in the Skype chat. Just gave him a shout out.
Oh yeah, the Skype chat from yesterday. Oh no, I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
Saturday, right?
That's right.
That
Yeah.
was Saturday. Yeah,
Yeah. What have
yeah.
you been up
See,
to, man?
I'm not used to all the names. See, because you have a different name in there, so I didn't recognize it was you.
Yeah, I joined in. I didn't actually join it. Jose joined me, and it was
Added you.
actually my personal account. So yeah, I just said
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just changing it now. So
I hear you. Yeah. So anyway, since I have a little air time here, now unfortunately for a lot of people, I'm going to have to do something, and just this person named Bad Christian. He seems to have a big mouth, and I'm going to have to uh, kind of make him understand that having a big mouth is not the thing to have. So now the Christian religion is going to have to take it on the chin for that. Hopefully it's up to it and can stand it. But I have decided that since he can't keep his big mouth shut, I'm going to take it out on his religion.
who's
Oh,
this you're
just so you
talking
know,
about?
Slick,
Sorry.
that's Bible literist. Did
Whoever
you
it
hear me?
is,
Okay. Just letting you know, it's a female.
whoever it is, I'm taking it out. So you can blame Bible literates for the downfall of of your religion. I might have been a little bit easy on it, but now somebody has to atone for her big mouth. So hopefully you got your faith in order, and hopefully it's strong enough. Hopefully that all this stuff that you believe in, you're about to find out just what you do believe in. See, I didn't come here to bring peace. I came to bring a sword, and it cuts both sides of it.
What's atone mean?
Oh, atone means that the Christian religion has to pay for her. See, she has to be her sins, you might say, have to be atoned for. So her religion is going to have to pay for it.
Like a purge.
Who's her?
This Bible literist, whoever that is.
Paula.
I've never heard of her.
Talking about Paula.
Is that her name, Paula? Yes, her. She seems to have a big mouth.
What actually happened? I've missed something.
In the
Well, we
chat
had a
right now.
conversation yesterday. We
In
had
the
a
chat.
conversation on Skype yesterday, and she couldn't stop opening her big mouth. So now the Christian religion has to suffer for it.
I don't think the
I've
Christian
missed that
religion
one.
will
Sorry.
suffer very much loss over this little feud.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Nathan?
I said I don't see how the Christian religion as a whole can suffer as a result of this feud.
Oh, well, don't worry about it. I'll take care of that. You let me worry
Right.
about that part of it.
Okay.
See, these people are nothing but tricksters. They're just, all they are the opposite side of the globe people. I'm sure everybody has heard of the coin, heads I win, tails you lose. That's what this whole belief system is. If you believe the head side, they win. You believe the tail side, you lose. It's just a trick. And now I'm exposing that trick. That's why I'm getting all the feedback that I'm getting, because I'm exposing it. Religious people know that you need to believe in that crap. That's all it is crap. You have to believe it. They're miracles. It's all nothing but crap, but you have to believe it. Reality doesn't require belief. Reality just is.
Sorry, Stu, I am listening to you, man. I'm just I run a small business, so I'm just writing a few quotes out. So if I'm quiet, I'm not ignoring you.
I'm not quite sure what you said, Mind Warped. You came in a little bit unclear.
I was just saying, I'm sorry. I am listening to you, but I'm just going a bit quiet because I've got a little bit of paperwork to do for my business, which is just going to take me a few minutes.
Oh no, that's okay. I'm talking to the audience actually.
Are we live?
Pre-show.
Oh, okay.
So basically what I'm doing, audience, is exposing these religious fakes one by one, as you'll notice. There are some more in line. I've already started on them, but I'll be continuing on them as we go. They know who they are too, don't they, Paul?
I didn't come in here to pick a fight, but it sounds like you did. So, but
yes,
okay.
I did. Exactly. I sure did. So you better get your gloves on.
So far, you're just talking. You've not really done anything to demolish Christianity. So far, you're just talking.
That's what you think.
So can I just ask you a quick question, just so I can understand where you're coming from?
Sure.
Is your issue with, like, I'm not being rude or anything here. I'm just trying to get my bearings. What's the issue? Is it with religion or with flat Earth, or I'm not sure.
The issue was with the belief system, the whole thing, all of it, every last bit of it. That's what the issue is. The issue is with anybody who has them. I am at war with anyone who has beliefs.
Beliefs in
anything,
religion or
anything. I don't care which, it doesn't matter whether it's religion, flat earth, globe earth, anything that is a belief, I am at war with it because reality doesn't require beliefs.
Okay. Belief covers a wide range of things, though. Do you mean everything in general?
All of it. Anything that has to do with a belief, you name it. I'm after it. I'm here to cut it down, chop it, slice it, separate the wheat from the chaff.
Question it and work it out? Or
I am here. No, I am here to separate the wheat from the chaff. I'm here to separate reality from beliefs. That's what I'm here for.
So I'm not being coy here. I'm just trying to work out. So what do you think the difference between reality and belief is then?
Well, reality doesn't require beliefs. Beliefs requires the imagination. Reality doesn't.
But isn't imagination part of belief?
Exactly. Reality doesn't require beliefs or the imagination.
But belief can
I've got a
create
definition.
reality. Like if you believe in something and you go after it, it can create a form of reality. Like if you say, I believe I wanted that hamburger, I'll create a reality by going and getting it. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah, but that's not
coincide.
That's not no. What you don't understand is that's not reality. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about reality that was here before you ever even thought about a burger, before you were ever even born. See, reality was here before you were born. So all of your thoughts about burgers and creating and everything that you think that you can do has nothing to do with reality.
So you're meaning Yeah, that's pretty deep. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
I've got a definition on the screen. Would you guys agree to this definition of belief?
Well, Paul, what you have to understand is the people that wrote that are the people that are part of the belief system. So, of course, it's going to jive with your narrative. You're all on the same team.
so I get what
Well,
you're
I'm
saying.
just trying to
Man.
get on
It's pretty deep. It's pretty deep.
agree.
It's going to be pretty hard to explain to some people. I kind of get what you mean, though.
Oh yeah, they'll get it.
So if you have a belief that's there, if you say belief is blind faith, I mean, I can kind of get on board with that. But if you mean just belief in general, because this definition says an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists, trust, faith, or confidence in someone or something.
Right. I'm here to
So that's
abolish
just the definition.
Yes. Well, your whole definition, I'm here to abolish it. So you can take that and put it back wherever you got it from.
So you're going to abolish and accept. Hold on.
Okay. Yep,
an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. So you're going to demolish that.
Yes, because reality does not require any of that. Reality doesn't need your definition of a belief. Reality is what it is.
Does reality exist?
How can I finish, please? Reality was before your description was ever even written.
Do you believe that
does reality exist?
Is everyone experiences reality differently? Like everyone has their own reality?
Reality is reality, period.
So are you going through the same as like the single mind consciousness?
In other words, listen, notice when I said in the example that reality was what it was before you were born. So it's not about anybody's separate experience. Reality just is. It has nothing to do with you.
It's just hard to fathom that because we've not been there.
Well, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you fathom it.
But how can you fathom that? That's what I'm trying to say. Well, what
don't worry.
Do you consider your reality?
The thing is, don't worry. But the last thing you want to do is worry about how I do things. Just be concerned about how you do it, and we'll be fine.
What I want you to know about me, because I'm actually pretty spiritual, pretty deep. So I'm not here to stuff people around. I'm an honest guy, and I want to hear you out, man. I'm just interested. That's all.
Sure, and that's why I'm having this conversation with you. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, cool, man. Cool.
Like you don't want people to worry about you, but you do worry about others because you're saying you're trying to destroy the Christian faith.
Don't worry about others.
Like you're pretty worried about us.
Don't try to see. This is the little tricks, Paul, that you try to play and you keep on trying to play, but it doesn't work, my snake friend.
All I'm saying is you're inconsistent in what you're saying.
Yeah,
that's all I'm
right. Well, just worry about your own inconsistency.
I think it's funny that you're so worried about the Christians and then you're telling others not to worry about you. So that's a very.
I'm not worried about that all you want. I'm not worried about anything. I never said that I was worried about the Christians. I said I'm here to chop the Christians down. I'm not worried about you. I'm just chopping you down.
Well, the only reason you would chop it down is if you think there's something wrong with it, right?
It is something wrong with it. It's a belief system.
Not all flat earthers are Christians, though. Like I'm not Christian.
I'm not accusing you of being Christian. Mine worked.
No, but a lot of people seem
to
think
me.
Like if a person is a flat earther, then that automatically, a Christian or like some religious nut. Like, no offense, I'm not saying anyone is, but I mean, I'm far from that. I'm a spiritual person. I actually have. I don't really know what it is. Like, for me, it could just be a whole level plane of existence, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it could just mean that we live on different planes of consciousness. Like, and this is the one that we're stuck in. It's just a flat plane, you know. That's one view that I don't know. I can't explain it. I'm here to ask questions and find out on my journey as well. So
I hear you.
I can, yeah.
I understand, and actually, I understand where you're coming from. See, so you would understand when I talk about the religious people. See, what the religious people are trying to do, like the Christians, they're trying to own flat Earth. In other words, they're trying to use their religion, like to put them in a place of rule. See, so they're trying to
You know
tie
what?
flat
Wait a
Earth
minute, Slick.
in with
Slick.
them.
Slick.
So, yeah, Slick.
Slick.
Yeah,
I'm not
yes.
trying to. I am not. You're putting statements in my mouth that I've never made a claim to. I've never said anything about. You're making claims, and I don't even think Betty said that. I don't think anybody that I've seen on this panel that has made that statement. You're reading into something. You're speaking into something that I have not, or no one has ever said.
Well, maybe you
So
should
want to
open.
not let
Well,
anybody.
maybe you should open
I'm
your
not-
ears, Paul, because it has been said a zillion times.
As a whole,
That Christians are going to own flat Earth.
Yeah. It hasn't
Christians
happened a
are-
lot.
Show me where I've said that.
I'm not
I haven't
talking
heard
about
where
you
I've said that.
personally. Why are you trying to see, Paul? You play too many games.
No, you're
I
the
have
one
to
playing
agree
freaking
with
games,
Slick, though.
Slick. You're speaking.
Like,
I know,
because
but I've not said
like,
anything on this panel since I've been on here that I'm trying to own flat Earth. I don't think Betty
I
said
don't
she's
think
trying
you
to
are.
own flat Earth. I don't think 10th Man has said on this panel that he's trying to own flat Earth. You know, you're speaking into something, Slick, that you know yourself. You don't even hold yourself to your own standard. You
I
know,
think what Slick's trying to
you don't
say,
you
though,
don't
is
be able to
like,
make claims to you. I
Would
know
you
what
listen?
he's trying to say.
Mind is trying to tell
I
you
know what
something, Paul. Why don't you stop with the word salad and listen for a second?
I think what Slick's trying to say is, like, and I can see this as well, is there is a ton of content on YouTube of flat Earth, which is connected to religion. I mean, I'm not saying that it's on this panel, so I'm not attacking anyone on this panel. I'm not attacking anyone at all, but for a lot of people that are looking from the outside in on the whole flat Earth viewpoint, a lot of people look at it and go, "Ooh, there's religion attached to this," and then they just steer clear of it because there's just so much of it. Whereas the majority of it isn't. But yeah, I see where you're coming from, Stick. There's a lot of it out there, you know.
Right. And
Paul,
Paul knows. See,
I haven't personally heard Paul say anything.
and Paul knows. See, Paul knows what you're talking about, but see, he's just part of the game. See, he's just using that slick stuff just to get around it. That's all he's doing. He's just a snake, just like the rest of his religious counterparts.
Well, Paul's a
You know
good
what?
guy,
Wait a minute,
man.
Slick. Hang on.
I've not heard him say anything.
Paul is, yeah, I know, but I know Paul too. He's a snake.
I don't think he's a snake, man.
I understand, but you and I have different thoughts. See, you don't think he is, but I do.
I understand. We all have different thoughts. We all have different concepts of everything. So, I mean, I personally, from my dealings, I haven't been on the panel long, but I haven't heard Paul say anything too negative, man, or anything too religious, really.
Let me ask you this question. Have you seen any of the conversations that Paul and I have had?
What, on here or
no, outside of here, on Skype, on Hangouts? Have you heard of any of those conversations that him and I have had personally?
I haven't, man. Like, I've only just joined that Skype group.
Right.
That, I spoke to you on the weekend.
Right. So do you understand how I have a different thought than yours? Because I have a different experience with him than you do. See, I've seen,
man. I'm new here, so.
I've seen his snakeness exposed.
But see, it's funny, Slick, that you say that. But most of the time, even so far, what's even brought me into even talk religion is you, because you misquoted scripture. You've talked about, you've equated yourself to be Jesus. You misquoted scripture. You've quoted more scripture than I ever have since I've been on this panel. And all I've done is come in and interact with you at that level. So you yourself have pretty much made that statement. You made a statement about who Jesus was. I interacted with you on that, and you didn't like it because I counteracted what you had to say. So, I did talk religious off in Skype and Hangouts, but you're the one that established this. Even you're talking about lion and the lamb, laying down. You're calling yourself a lamb, calling yourself a lion. Those are a lot of Christian terminology. That's biblical terminology. So you're the one kind of establishing it, calling yourself spirit and flesh. That's, again, biblical terminology. So in a sense, you pretty much established the ground rules. Me and Betty are kind of coming in and going like, Slick, you're missing it. That's all. When they tried to bring up that topic of religion last week, and I said, no, I said, we're not going to do this. This is not the panel.
Word salad. Okay, how much word salad do you need? I got your point. Okay, let me tell you something, Paul. I don't care about you. You had a lot of word
salad when we first started.
I don't care about you.
You had a lot of word salad when we first started.
Okay, that's right. You can do that.
Guys, I just want to say hello to Ranty. Hey, Ranty, can you hear us?
Hiya, you alright?
Very well.
Hey, Randy, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, as you can tell. There's also a PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below the video. Now, we are joined by Slick James Johnson, Ranty Flat Earth, Paul, and Mind Warped. How are you all doing?
Good.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Good to
There's a
have
pretty
you all.
interesting chat going on before the show started.
Mind Warp, do yourself a favor. If you want you and I to stay on good terms, don't advise me. Just do yourself that favor.
Okay, I
Okie
wasn't going to
dokie.
advise you now. I was just, you know what I'm about, man. Like, it's all good.
I hear you.
Shout out to Colin Turner for the super chat. Really appreciate your support. So, any signs of curvature?
Right now,
No, nothing. Just
Nope.
beliefs.
Nope.
Any signs of axial rotation?
Nothing but religious beliefs.
Hey, Ibon, how you doing? Can you hear us?
Good morning. Good. I can hear you guys.
Excellent. Good to have you. Any scientific
Thank you.
evidence of gravity?
Nothing but more religious beliefs. That's all it is.
I concur.
What about the distance to the sun? Any evidence of that?
no.
Well, Christian Huygens calculated distance from Earth to the Sun. He used the phases of Venus to find the angles in the Venus-Earth-Sun triangle. But other than that, no.
Did he have any presuppositions in that measurement?
Pretty much everything.
There was two particular ones I was hoping you'd mention.
Reality does not require any distance measurement of the sun. The sun is right where it needs to be to do what it does.
Sure, but there's just been a claim made that there's been a measurement, Slick.
I'm pretty
really?
sure that's
Yeah, back in
Who made that?
1653.
Do you know what
How accurate do you
presuppositions?
think that was?
Do you know what presuppositions were made? Ibon.
What was that?
Do you know what presuppositions he made or used in one instance?
That I can't quite remember, but I think it had to do with there being like a complete right angle with Venus and Earth, or Venus and the Sun, and thus he was able to measure the distance of the Earth to the Sun.
Okay, no. The first presupposition is that Earth is a sphere with a radius value.
Oh yes, there
That's
you
the
go.
first presupposition. His second presupposition being that Venus is the same size as Earth, as a sphere with a radius value. So he makes those two presuppositions, and that applies Kepler's third law.
True.
So just to draw a line into that, so no distance to the sun beyond these presuppositions of Earth being a sphere and Venus being a sphere the same size as Earth, then? No? Anybody? Anybody
Correct.
at all?
You know, I just got to remind people
No,
of certain names throughout history and their assertions.
Indeed. Did we cover scientific evidence of gravity?
yes, it's just another religious belief.
Apart from
Right.
the roller door falling down and breaking my wife's arm. Is that gravity? I think it's density.
Yeah, relative density.
Reality does not need gravity whatsoever, but for their religious belief, they need gravity, so they insert it artificially and create an artificial reality.
Any evidence that we can have gas pressure without a container for all those fundamentalists who believe the sky is a vacuum known as space?
Definitely
just-
not.
More religious stuff. That's all that is. Just beliefs, 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 beliefs. That's all it is.
That's the one that gets me.
What was that?
Well, that's the
warp?
thing. See, that's how the system works. See, you have to. That's how the system works. In other words, once your belief system is open and you're open to beliefs, now you can be told anything because all you have to do is believe it. It's just that simple. You can be told that the earth is spinning. You can be told that it's tilted. You can be told that it's orbiting. You can be told that the earth formed from planetesimals. You can be told that gravity pulls everything to the center. You can be told that there was a big bang that happened some point out of singularity. So you have to believe it all. It's all a belief system.
But Slick, if what you've just said has no value, then people may as well just believe what they want to believe. Because you could just say any random, you may as well just say dog, fish, tree, cloud, because they're just random words to you because you don't believe what you're saying. So what it means is that what you're saying has very little value if people are to take what you're saying as truth. Otherwise, like I said, they may as well just believe what they want to believe, or have their own ideas, right?
Unless I'm stating a fact, right?
What a fact like what?
I said no. Hold on. I said I'm just countering what you said. I said unless I'm stating a fact, and a belief is not necessary now, is it?
Well, beliefs are necessary in order to operate. Otherwise, when you wake up, you would have to believe certain things in order to go about that day. Otherwise, you would stay in bed. You wouldn't leave the house. You wouldn't do anything. You wouldn't communicate. You wouldn't speak with anybody. So again, you've just give a statement, and any statement that you give here on afterwards, you have to believe that it has value, because if you don't believe it has value, you wouldn't speak.
I don't have to believe anything because there is a such thing as facts.
Mm-hmm. But are you speaking?
That's what I was saying in the pre-show. I was saying that a belief can cause a reality. So a belief would cause a person to do something, which would in turn cause a reality and an effect. So I'm cut. That's where I was confused.
Right. Well, reality doesn't need beliefs because reality is full of facts. And if you get your beliefs out of the way, the facts will come through.
Again, that has no value. It doesn't mean anything.
You know why? Because your beliefs, it doesn't mean, listen,
right?
It doesn't mean anything, Chemo, because your beliefs are in the way. See, I don't have that problem. See, you do. So remove your beliefs and the facts will come through.
Is that a valuable statement? Does it have value to it? Does it have a meaning, or just words?
Are you implying a spiritual thing?
No, I'm just implying just what I just said. In other words, the beliefs is your problem. Once you remove the beliefs, then the reality can come through. Right now, the beliefs are blocking the reality that's right in front of you.
What's the reality?
I hear what you're saying. Like,
but what is reality? What is the reality?
You will see the reality when you remove the beliefs.
Yeah, but I will never see your reality. People will not see your reality.
I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question. If you want to see reality, get rid of the belief system.
No, they would have to see it through your eyes.
You don't have to see anything through my eyes. Reality doesn't show.
That's my point. So there's no point in you speaking reality at any time because you have your words have no value. That was my point.
Word salad. Reality does not come through my eyes. Reality just is.
And what is that reality?
Hold on. You're the one that's putting it in my eyes. I never said anything about reality in my eyes. Those are your words.
Are you trying to make me see reality through your eyes?
No, I'm not trying to make I'm not trying to make you see anything. What I am telling you is that if you want to see reality, you have to get rid of the beliefs. Now, you can take that for what it's worth.
I don't think it's worth anything. Yes, I agree. I don't think that is worth anything. I think what you're saying has very little value because you don't believe what you're saying. You just giving me random words
every single person on this panel has
hold on,
three people talking.
Hold on,
hold on. Hey, Chocolate, how you doing?
Good morning. I see it's nice and hyper in here already.
Can we try to keep it to just two at a time?
Well, every single person has a different reality. My reality is completely different to someone else's reality. It's like perspective. I see things completely different to every single other person on this panel. So my reality is different. My beliefs are different. So saying that you can get rid of them and trying to get rid of your beliefs,
can't get rid of your beliefs.
I can't get my head around it because everyone experiences both of those separately. So I don't quite know what you're trying to get out. I'm only trying to understand you, Stick. I'm not trying to
and I'm trying to, I hear you, but I'm trying to explain, but every time I try to explain, the talking starts. See, reality,
it's really hard to get.
Okay, well, just would you listen, please? Reality just is. It doesn't need your interpretation of it. Everybody does not have a separate reality. There is only one reality. The reason that people have all these separate realities, because people have all of these beliefs, which create these realities in their imagination. Reality does not live in the imagination. Get rid of the beliefs and the reality will reveal itself.
So you're talking about the singularity, the single mind consciousness. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I am saying is what I just said.
Which has zero value. This is what I'm trying to show you guys. Whatever he says, it's not. He says take it for what it's worth. So he understands it's worth very little. It's worth.
Then don't listen to it, Kimo. If it's worthless to
again, I'm experiencing something that is worthless. Why do I have the right to do that? Slick, do I have the right to listen to something that is worthless? Like you said, take it for what it's worth. You said that, right?
Yes, you have the right. You have the right. You have the right to do whatever you want. So can I finish, please? Would you let me finish the Kimo? Let me finish the statement.
Why would you start commanding me?
Would you let me
do this? Don't do that. And I just gave my version of what your opinion or your beliefs or your advice were, which I said is worth very little. You said don't listen. Well, why are you commanding me all of a sudden? I don't understand.
I was trying to finish what I was saying, but for some reason you have a real word salad problem that you need to get out.
You started to command me. You said don't.
If you will shut up for a second, please. Can you shut up? Can you put your mouth on hold for a second?
Sorry. Go ahead, Slick.
Thank you. Now, whatever the words that I am saying, if they don't mean anything to you, that's fine. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. That's what you don't understand. I'm just making a statement. I'm saying it. Now let it go. You don't have to try to beat it or try to beat it into your understanding. Maybe it's not meant for you to understand.
I know that, but you did say
the reason we're questioning it.
Does what this man has just said, does it have any value? Is this worth a discussion? This guy believes that he doesn't have something which he clearly has. So therefore I can say, yeah, this has very, very little value. But you can't tell me then what to do, like don't do this, do that, do this. You know, I have the right to listen and give my opinion if I think something is worthless, right?
That's fine. Do that.
Wouldn't also the statements that you're saying, Stick, be a belief of yours?
No, mine. There is no alternate. See, I'm not into alternates. I said what I said. The problem is that when you try to take what I said and you try to reword it, that's where the problem comes in. I know, but then if that's the case, hold on. So if that's the case, then just hear what I said and let it be. If you understand it, fine. If not, don't worry about it.
Well, then should we let it be and then move on?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the only reason is you said you're coming in here.
I know. Now you just said let it be and move on. So let's move on.
Okay, cool, man.
Can we say hello to our new guest? Hey, Flat Earth.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
I mean, does
hold on.
Hold on. Does Slick change
Hello. Can you stop talking? The reason I say hello to the new guests is so I can level them up. So I need more than like 2 words and then everyone else talking. Hey, Flat and Earth, how you doing?
Hi, good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Happy indeed. Go on, Ibon. I'm sorry to shout at you.
Yeah, this is
no worries.
This is kind of a flat Earth debate, and it just feels like Slick just needs somewhere to go and talk. Like, you know, there's other places you can go, Slick, if you want to just chat.
Didn't we just let it go, Ranty? We just let it go, guy. Come on, don't try to start it back up again. It was just let go. Come on now.
I'm going to take that. Sorry, I'll take that, Ranty.
I agree with Ranty. Like the other day,
I'll field that. I don't mind fielding that. If I can ever get a word in on my own bloody show, probably never. Right, so yeah, Ranty, he's talking about people who have beliefs, and for the most part, I fundamentally agree with that. You know, I was watching a Wakey Wakey video only last night, and his words were similar but not the same. He was saying he tries wherever possible to not hold beliefs, and in many respects, I agree. So, I mean, I see this as a discussion worthy of Flat Earth debate on account of the fact that we have beliefs about things like molten iron cores at the centre of presupposed spherical Earths, and those beliefs are what make up our reality. I can't remember if it was Ibon that mentioned this earlier. Maybe it wasn't Ibon, I forget who, or maybe it was Mind Warped. But essentially, that's what creates your reality. What you believe in, the construct that you think your world is essentially a belief if you're on a sphere. But that's your reality, nonetheless, and it's based on belief. So I see this as worthy. I'm not having a go at you, Ranty. I'm just saying, I'm glad you've brought that up. What's the point? And you know, because it gets lost in the argument between Spurs and Slick. And while that is the sentiment, you're reiterating. It gives me an opportunity to say why it is a worthy conversation. So I thank you, Ranty.
Yeah, I just don't think that this sort of debate tactic, talking about beliefs, is actually going to appeal to that many people. It's not going to put the bread and butter on the table and talk about what the proofs are and stuff, or the lack of proofs. You know,
but Slick did bring up a pretty valid comment before in the pre-show, like that I thought was quite valid as well. Was he thought that, you know, there was a lot of religion tied into flat Earth, where and there was I agree with what Nathan said. You know, I think it's a valid point.
Okay, crack on.
Well, actually, Slick was more than happy to draw a line under it at that point. So you say carry on.
Well, yeah, but yeah, no, I was just saying that I also agree with Slick. I wasn't having a go at him, and you know, everyone does experience things in their own way. So, and we do have beliefs that do form reality. So I was just trying to work out what he was getting at. I was just trying to wrap my mind around it.
It's not that we're saying that we don't, you know, of course we want to limit the beliefs, but Slick's saying that he has zero beliefs, none at all. So of course, you know, we don't want to believe like, you know, that there's a dome because we haven't seen it, we haven't experienced it. We know that, but we do have general beliefs. You know, like, you know, I said to him before, you don't have to go to a place to know or to believe it exists. Because he lives somewhere in America and he traveled to another place, and for him, in order for him to get to that other place that he hasn't been to before, he would have to believe that this place is a real place. Like when they say, "Oh, do you believe China is real?" Well, we say, "Oh, we haven't been there, we haven't experienced it," but we would still buy a ticket. We would still travel, believing that this plane is taking us to China. So it's not the idea of, you know, we just use beliefs and it's all religion. It's the idea that Slick is saying that he has none at all.
Okay, let me just extrapolate that just to save Slick and the row. So you talk about getting on a plane and traveling to Mallorca because you believe Mallorca exists and you've never been there, and you still buy your ticket, you get on the plane, you go to Mallorca. Right, well, that seems reasonable based on the standard of evidence that we have and the amount of accounts that we have and the other people that we have that have talked about going there. However, you can extract that out slightly further, one step removed, if you will, and say, what about a different location that we haven't been to, that they claim exists, that only exists in a belief structure, like Mars, for example?
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that point. I'm not arguing that point. We're saying that, you know, a reason, you know, if he has to move somewhere in America, he's saying that he hasn't experienced it before. So therefore, he doesn't know about it. So we're saying that if he lives in, say, New York and he moves to California, he's never been to California. He hasn't experienced California. So in order you can't say, I know California exists. He has to believe it exists if he's going to move there. Okay?
No, I don't, see, because I don't have to believe anything because I won't know if California exists until I get there.
But you're trusting, you're going there, you're traveling there. That means that you believe this is a real place.
But you are missing the point. The only reality that I know of is the journey that I'm on in the travel. Wherever I am, whether it's on a plane, boat, or a car, the only reality is where I am at that moment in time. That's the only thing that I can verify. I can't verify California until I arrive.
Yeah, but you're not just traveling blind. You're not just a zombie who's just walking.
Schemo, may I ask you something? People have traveled to the moon. Does the moon exist where people have traveled? Where they landed on the moon?
No, I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. Now answer my question. People have been to the moon, or they claim they've been to the moon. Does that moon exist in your reality? Or is that a belief?
Well, I can see the moon, can't I?
Yeah, but people have been to the moon. They've claimed they've been to the moon. So if they say, hey, we're going to take you to the moon, Schemo, and you're going to be like, okay, let's go. I know what it looks like. I know what it'll be like when I get there. Is that true?
I don't believe the moon exists. I can see it.
Okay. Yeah,
this is a perfect example. Hold on, I don't want this to go off the rails. This is a perfect example.
So therefore, he has to believe that California exists before he gets there.
No, I don't.
But again, what kind of mind frame is a person in as they're traveling before they buy the ticket? What mind frame are they in? They haven't experienced it, but they're going to California. What is their mind frame?
Their mind frame is that they're going to experience a journey.
Yeah, to where? To a place
no, hold on. Now, you didn't hear what I just said. See, don't worry about to where. When you're on a journey. Okay, see, listen, I can't finish if you keep cutting me off. Now, I'm trying to clarify for you, but you keep talking. Now, when you're on a journey someplace, the only reality in that journey is the journey. Now, once you arrive to the place, that's when the place gets verified. The place doesn't get verified before the journey begins. That's the point that you're missing.
No, I'm not missing that point.
What about if you have to? What about if you have to like book a hotel or something if you're going to stay there? Or do you not do that until you arrive where you're arriving because you don't believe that a hotel exists until you get there?
You can book the hotel, but you won't verify the hotel until you arrive.
So you believe the people that have told
No, you don't believe anything. No, you don't believe anything. You just experience the journey. I keep telling you that, but you're not letting it sink in. And here's why. The reason that you're not letting it sink in is because you're not trying to understand. You're trying to find fault in what I'm saying. And whenever you're trying to find fault, that's just what you'll do. Find fault. You're not trying. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. You're not trying to understand. And that's why I left the conversation with you Friday, because I don't like playing this game. You're not interested in understanding. You're interested in finding fault. And I don't feel like playing that.
I understand it. And that's why I'm addressing it. But to say that what you're saying is, to me, ludicrous, because you wouldn't be able to operate if you didn't believe that California, you wouldn't just... Like I just said, you're not a zombie.
No, you don't get it, Schemo. I mean, I get Slick James. So obviously you don't get it.
Sorry, just ask an open question. Sorry to interrupt. Does everyone on the panel know what solipsism is? Take that as a no.
I have an idea.
No worries. A view or theory that the South is all that can be known to exist. I would say each time this conversation progresses, Slick, you get one step closer to pure solipsism.
And I heard that before, but no, I don't.
But at the moment, you're saying the experience around you can only be known to exist if you're currently experiencing it.
Well, no, that's not what. That's hold on. Chemo, he's talking to me.
See?
Now, no, I'm trying to correct Nathan. No, that's not the case at all. Whatever this solipsism is, or whatever that word is, that is not what's going on. I heard it, and I've listened to it, and I understand the meaning of it, but that's not what I'm stating whatsoever.
So he just uses his own definition. This is why I say it's very...
I'm not using my own... Gosh.
Or you could say that there's no definition for which Slick James describes. Think of it that way as well.
I think it's just hard. It's a hard thing to kind of describe to actually like...
Listen, sometimes what you have to understand is some things are beyond your understanding. That's just all there is to it.
Okay. I never actually got a chance to introduce Mac. Hopefully he's not away from his mic at the moment. Can you hear us, Mac?
Yes, sir, I can. How are you doing?
Very well. I need to turn you up a little bit, but other than that, very good. Good to have you.
Thank you, thank you.
I mean, I am in the same boat as Slick James, as I don't believe in things. It's unfortunate because I feel like believing is a lot easier. I mean, look, there's this guy called SR Monet. He's got like 3,300 subscribers. He's been doing videos on YouTube for 7 months. All his videos get thousands of views. And what he did was he pretty much predicted the rapture for it occurring on April 18th, 2019. And he said he'll stop making videos if he's wrong, because he's basically saying to his followers that he's got a direct contact with God, and God told him exactly when the date of the rapture was. Yet he didn't stop. He got it wrong. The rapture didn't occur, and he still got thousands of views going on. People believed him. His prediction never came true, just like everyone else who've predicted the rapture and the end of the world never came true. Yet there are followers, people who still believe him, they still watch and they listen, and they'll still believe what he says, even though he got things wrong, where he says specifically he was told by God this is when the rapture will occur. Those are belief systems, and people will still believe him even after he's wrong.
Yep.
And the evidence would show that person was not to be trusted.
Beliefs.
Hold on. Go ahead, Paul.
I said the evidence would show that person is not to be trusted if he makes that statement. And I think we all have it. I have it. I know Slick's going to push back. Everybody's going to push back, but I know what Spursky-Mo's saying is you can have either evidential-based belief system or non-evidential-based belief system. And I think what Spurs is saying is we all have some level of evidence-based beliefs. Like, even though Slick may not agree with this, but you have to believe at a certain level that the evidence that Los Angeles exists to even make the move to start going in that direction. Now, your belief can stop being belief and become knowing once you arrive in Los Angeles. But we all have an evidential-based belief system, and that's the problem. I think we try to undermine belief system, and really we've all got them. And you can disagree or not, I don't care, but we all have them. We have to function in this world. You know, I have a belief that my wife is trustworthy. I have a belief in that. Now, she's shown herself to be trustworthy, but there's a level of trusting in that. There's a belief system in that, and I can't get around it. That's just the way it is. Now, could she break that trust? Yes. And then my belief in that will disappear.
Not necessarily.
Okay, I heard the word salad. I heard them. Now, let me ask you a question,
Slick,
Paul.
hold on. Slick, hold on. So Spurs gave an example on Friday where he used, I can't remember the name of the project now, Project Fishbowl or something similar, where they're shooting up rockets up at the sky. They being the exact same people that give us the narrative currently about rockets. And in terms of his belief in the dome, he's led himself to confirmation bias from the same exact liars. So from my perspective sat here, obviously Slick's on the very, very extreme fringes of what he states, but I see Spurs as equally on those other extremes of beliefs, because he sought out confirmation bias from the same exact liars. Sorry, Spurs, you're just going to have to be the example in this instance. You don't have to like it.
No, I mean, I don't mind, because like I said, I can admit having beliefs. You know, these are things that we have to believe because, you know, that's how we operate. You know, otherwise you'd be sat there pondering your thoughts. Are they right? Are they correct? Should I think this? Should I think that? You wouldn't even speak, all right? Because it would have no value. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking.
I wouldn't call that belief. I call it assumptions. I don't believe it's going to happen. I mean, just like when I'm watching an advertisement for something, I don't believe it's going to be exactly that, because I know through experience it's never exactly what the advertisers say it is. I have an assumption that that's most likely going to be what the advertisers say. But experience, again, it's an assumption that, well, I've experienced in the past that it's not exactly what the advertisers say. So I have an assumption. It's not a belief. It's an assumption.
Okay, well, if you use your analogy of an advertiser, and we have an advertiser that says they're going to supply you a wardrobe, and you order the wardrobe, it costs $200, it looks nice in the pictures, it arrives, and it's only 3 inches tall. Well, from that moment on, you know that that particular person is a liar, and you wouldn't then go and reference them again in future for furniture, because they're a known liar. Whereas in this instance, we've got an entity that Spurs has referred to that's being debunked in this particular tiny corner of the internet day in, day out, i.e. NASA and rockets. But the same assertion from the same liar, just because it comports to his belief. That's my point.
But in this case for Slick, though, he doesn't do that. He would say, well, I was going to ask, if somebody lies to him over and over and over again, he would just take that as, well, I'm just going to take the next thing they say as an experience, and not, there's no trust or belief here, Nathan. This is the point I'm trying to get at with his version of beliefs. He's saying that if someone lies to him, time and time again, he will still accept what they're saying as experience, and he'll just, so if someone says New York is over here, New York is over there, and he goes there, it's not there, he returns, and then they say, oh, actually, it's over here. Each time he will just go, because for him, it's a new experience. He doesn't think, oh, I don't believe you. He just thinks, oh, okay, you've said it's over there. I want to go to New York, so you've said it's there. I'll just go with what you've said. That's what, and this is where I'm saying that with my beliefs. I'm saying that, with everything with all the evidences that, that the evidence that I've looked at, logically now, to me, there has to be a don't. So I'm going off my logic, not it could be beliefs involved in that as well, but I'm saying that I have to believe.
Okay. Let me just respond to that, Spurs. So yeah, but you've just explained and paralleled your belief based on location and geography. Are you having a laugh? Isn't that pretty much the fundamental basis of what we're being attacked on? Our lack of accurate mapping for the flat plane that we dwell atop. Well, if you're going to use geography and say, well, he obviously knows that New York's over here, does he?
No, that's what Slick is saying.
That's what you're saying. That's your example. He knows when he travels from New York to LA that LA is there. Well, where's there? We don't know.
I'm saying that, let's say he's standing in the middle of America, and he Slick says, I want to go to New York. And the guy says, that way. Just go in that direction. And he goes there in that direction as far as he can. He returns. And then Slick will say, I didn't see New York. I wasn't there. So the guy says, okay, go that way. So to Slick, each new experience, he doesn't take the last one like, oh, you lied to me. So it's not the same, though. It's completely different. He's taking new experiences as it is, just as it is now. So he won't say, oh, I don't trust you anymore because you lied to me last time. He's going to say, oh, okay, so now you're saying it's this way. Okay, so I'll go this way.
No, you're mixing your worldview with his worldview. He's got an extreme view of non-belief, and you've got an acceptance, or actually a seeking out of confirmation bias, based on a belief in something that's being debunked in this corner. So you're both at polar opposites. You're at the extreme end of both situation. But Slick, I can't answer for Slick in terms of how he's going to view a piece of information he acquires if he takes a wrong direction.
No, but that's the foundation of what, because people have asked him, if you go to have a drink of water, each time you have water, it's a new experience to him. He doesn't remember the last one and say, oh.
Chemo, could you do me a favor? Because you're doing an awful lot of speaking for me. Could you stop doing that, please? And if somebody has a question about my experience, they can ask me rather than have you explain me to them. If you could do that for me, please.
Sure. All right.
Now, I have another question I've been meaning to ask you.
Let's get that question out of the way then, Slick. Hold on.
It's just a quick one.
Hold on. Let's get that question out of the way then. So you take directions. Obviously, this is a strange hypothetical situation, but you go which way to New York? This is bizarre, but we'll keep it as the example was. And someone says, go that way. And you follow those directions and you don't find New York. And then by whatever weird coincidence, you find the exact same person. And they go, and you say to them, I didn't find New York. And he says, well, actually, you go that way. Well, would you, dare I say, believe him?
Because I won't answer for him, sorry. But...
See, yes, thank you. I would not.
You wouldn't
Why,
what?
Slick? Why wouldn't you listen to that?
Hold on, Spurs. You wouldn't what?
You're asking me what I wouldn't what?
So you've got to the point where the guy's told you where New York is. You've gone in that direction, and then
And
you
I
find
didn't
it's not
find it.
there. You then go backtrack, and you find the same person again. You happen to cross paths, and you go, New York wasn't in that direction. And he goes, oh, it's over there. Well, do you take his word for it?
No, because by that time I've already told him he doesn't know what he's talking about. And the next time he gives me a wrong direction, I'm gonna slap the crap out of him.
But my point is that you don't trust what he says.
Now, I have a question that I would like to ask, and then just let me ask this question to Paul and Chemo. Are your limitations my limitations?
Well, it depends on what. Limited on what?
Just yes or no. Are your limitations, period, any limitations, are your limitations my limitations?
The answer is no.
What? In terms of what exactly?
Anything, limitations, period. In other words, your limitations, whatever they are those my limitations also?
Okay, can I answer?
Please do, because it has to.
I think everyone has their own limitations.
That's not my question. I'm asking them too. Are their
The answer is no.
limitations, whatever they are those my limitations too? That's what I'm asking them.
No, their limitations wouldn't be your limitations.
Thank you. No further questions.
They're not the same. They can't be the same. Just answer the question.
He won't answer the question.
I don't think anyone's limitations. Everyone's got different limitations.
Well, yeah, they can't be
completely different.
Eban just hit it on point. Thanks, Eban.
You're welcome.
What? I didn't know what he said. What did you say, Ebon?
I said they won't answer the question.
I had stepped away.
Okay, then. So,
Yep,
any
you
evidence
can,
of
Paul.
the R value?
Are we still on the housekeeping?
That was the end of the housekeeping, actually.
No,
there's no evidence of R.
Oh, jolly good. Well, that concludes the housekeeping.
No, let's make more housekeeping because we need more. I think.
That was the best housekeeping ever.
Well, I slipped in the belief in a molten iron core in the middle of the argument rather than asking it as a question. So we did get all the questions in at least.
But what I like is, see, this is how tricks that people use. They'll use things like you'll equate believing in a dome with a trip to New York. See, those two things are they're not even in the same ballpark. But notice how they try to equate them like the same. Nobody has ever been to any dome, but yet you're making claims that there is one. Now, at the very least, somebody's been to New York. At the very least, so don't try to use
What do you believe
as
that?
an
How do you know?
analogy.
How do you know that somebody has been to?
Because I've been to New York.
No,
I was born and raised in New York.
Yeah, but you're saying that.
Are you meaning to say that you don't accept beliefs without proof? Is that what you're saying? You need proof to back up a belief?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all, because I don't have beliefs. I don't need them. They're not required in reality. Now, some people, for some reason, think that beliefs are a necessary thing. I understand that they are not. Now, my understanding and somebody else's understanding does not have to match. See,
But you understand other people have beliefs.
That's their problem. That's not my problem. I don't care what other people have.
Get
That's
that,
them. Yes, I do get it. Of course I get it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm back. I stepped away for a minute.
So what you're meaning is you understand other people have beliefs, but you don't personally have beliefs.
Exactly. I don't need them. They're useless to me. I have no use for them. Period.
And that's totally your prerogative.
Okay.
Exactly.
I think what you mean, you don't have any religious beliefs.
No, there you go again. I didn't say that. I said I don't have. Listen, Chemo, I don't need you to come behind me and say what I stated. I said what I said. I don't need you to listen, Chemo. I don't need you to clean it up for me if you don't mind. Don't do that if you don't mind. As a personal favor, don't clean up my statements for me.
Okay, Ranty, we've got you on screen. What you got?
Can I?
Oh, you guys finish. I mean, I've got a whole bunch of stuff to go on about, but yeah.
Can I just ask one quick question?
No, right, okay.
So if you don't have beliefs, then what do you have? Like what? How would you describe your?
I have reality.
What would you describe your thoughts as?
There you go again. I just
Reality, or?
answered your question. Didn't I just answer your question? I have reality. That's it.
Okay. Okay. So your
Now,
life is your
over
experience
to
of
Ranty.
reality.
Go ahead. Let Ranty. Ranty,
I
take
know,
over, please.
What we got, Ranty?
Oh, right.
Can we
okay.
allow Slick to have his reality and his experience and just talk about flat Earth and just move on from
Totally.
this, please?
Totally. I just had to ask that one
Okey-dokey.
question. Now
Yay.
I'm done.
You're on screen. You're nice and big. Excellent stuff.
Okay, so are you guys familiar with Al-K?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
So here we have an image from Al-K. He was punting it over on Jose Jean-J Gonzalez's channel, and he was punting this as proof of curvature. On the left-hand side, we have an identical platform as to the one on the right, except the one on the right is further away. And he said that this is an exact example of proof of curvature. And I'd just like to see what you guys first and foremost would like to say about that.
Well, you're going to get a more limited angle the further it goes away, and the most limited angle is at the bottom of anything that you see in the distance.
Well,
Yeah, so you're saying because the bottom is obscured, he means, is that what he's saying?
Well, what I'm
hang
gonna
on a
do,
second.
right?
I've just noticed. You've got the feet.
Yes, you have got the feet. Exactly. Well spotted, Nathan. That's exactly my point. So I've got two examples here, the same image. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just crop this one out, and I'm going to do some adjustments. I'm just going to do the brightness and contrast so that we can see it a little bit better. And then I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to put it back on the original image. And we're going to have a look at it in comparison to the one on the left, because this is obviously this image here is this one here. I've just done some contrast with it. But what happens when we just increase its angular size, just increase it a little bit in height, you know, just to make it look the same? It's an identical match. There's no difference. You can see the feet and everything.
So in other words, literally, it's just the effect of it becoming slightly smaller in angular size because it's further away.
Yes, exactly. And yet this is what Al-K is over there punting. This is his latest find. This is his proof of curvature. And when I pointed out in the side chat that this was literally just a point of perspective, one's further away, so its angular size is smaller, he doubled down and said, no, this isn't perspective, this is proof of curvature. So what do you guys think?
Well, their proof of curvature would involve giving the feet and inches or meters value of whatever this is, oil rig presumably, and then they would say, well, it's the same feet and inches value when it's slightly further away, correct?
Yep.
There's just slightly more Earth curve that obscures it. Well, no, absolutely fact, without question, its angular size will, without fail, reduce with distance, Al-K. That's a given. I mean, that's a fact of life. This sphere bullshit that you believe in, that's definitely not a fact of life. That's a presupposition of an R value, coupled with an orthographic view that removes any perspective, and then the actual size being substituted where you should be using angular size. That would account for this thing getting smaller with distance. The thing you say it's not, well, that definitely happens. Perspective's real. Earth curve, on the other hand, total nonsense.
Here's an image that I was sent by Dr. John. He's done the Bedford levels, and he emailed me and he asked me what I actually thought of this particular image. So I put 3 lines in here. These 3 lines are points of inferior mirage on different things. So on the left-hand side, we have a brown area with the inferior mirage smack bang in the center. Obviously, this human being that's actually on a boat. This is the boat that he's on. This inflatable boat. And he's about 2 miles away. So technically, if you're going to go to the Earth curve calculator and say, well, that lines up with proof of curvature because the boat is hidden, you can't see that. But then what you've also got to look at is you've got different inferior mirage lines with different objects in the background, proving that it isn't Earth curvature blocking it. It's proving that it's actually on a slant, exactly as Arwin says, the optical slant.
That's excellent.
It is. And when I emailed him, I told him about that. So, you know, I mean, I'm sure he'll put a video out about it soon, but it's very clear that you can see 3 specific in places where they got this inferior mirage. And you don't get that on if it was a curvature of the Earth and the curvature started on the bottom red line, then obviously you wouldn't get these inferior mirages in the background. So yeah, just great stuff.
Excellent.
Slice Arcane as well put a video out some time ago now. I might have that up actually. Let me just see if I can. Thanks, Ranty2. So here we go. This is Slice Arcane, and this is him doing the modeling. So he's modeling the turbines that you like to present, Nathan. So this is a flat Earth plane, and this is a globe Earth image. Can you see where he's actually just dropped the feet beyond the curvature of the Earth, apparently? So what I've done is I've taken those two. This is the proof of curvature, the model one that he's modeled out. This is the flat Earth one that I've modeled out. And basically this is the image that he was comparing it to. So he put all the details in. And I've literally just put them side by side so that you guys can have a look. And what I want to concentrate on is the angle between the first hub and the last hub. So if we go through the center like that, like so they're all lined up, and then I put it next to the one for the model for curvature. There we go. So that's the model for curvature. Do the same for the model for flat. Pop it over there. And which one do you think's closest, Nath? If I go over here and
I've got to be honest, they all look exactly the same. I mean, obviously, there's a slightly. You're going to say there's a slightly less difference between the one that completely ignores perspective and claims they're dropping into the distance with the same actual sizes versus the one that gives you linear perspective. But I mean, yeah, okay, it's clear that the flat Earth example is closer to the reality of the picture, but it's still a hijacking of perspective in the first instance. So when these two images were created by Slice Arcane, the one on the left, the globe one, as you correctly point out, it's just simply got the full size of the turbines accounted for, and he just gives the full size of it by showing it going behind a curve. Whereas there is no legs going down with the one on the right, because it's the one that's akin to what we see, things getting smaller with distance. So in other words, the one on the left, the globe one, ignores that. That is claiming that things don't get smaller with distance. It's just going over a curve. Well, that's total nonsense. Anyone with half a brain realises that things do get smaller with distance and then eventually disappear from view, as opposed to things just going over the curve of the Earth, the only assertion they can make. They can only make that assertion by removing the very reality of things getting smaller with distance, which is all Earth curve is. Earth curve is just perspective.
I've got a question about perspective. In the first photo and the one on the very left, when we've got the further out windmills, whatever they're called, following the Earth's curvature.
Yeah.
I mean, from that perspective, would those be more slanted rather than more perpendicular up and down? Would they be more angled outward?
Not at the distances involved. I think we're talking about 11 or 12 miles away, so you wouldn't see an awful lot of sort of like what you're explaining. You wouldn't see that. If it was 100 miles, you could say that, but not at the distances.
To be fair to Slice Arcane, we saw this also modelled out identically by Chris Monk, so he did the same exact thing, he just didn't publish it. So when Sly brought this out, we were like, yeah, we've seen this already. We know what the comparison is. Now, I don't think we were exactly there 100% to saying what I say now. Earth curve's just perspective. But at the time, we were pretty close to being able to make those similar assertions. But yeah, so we had seen this modelled on Blender prior to this being released by Sly. So we knew that what he'd done was accurate and how close they were. We were like, that's a bit of a problem. Why are they so close? Well, the reason is because one is a hijacking of the other.
Yeah, well firstly, what I want to say, I want to say that every time that I show an observation with wind turbines in, right, every single time they say, look at the turbines getting nearer to the floor and the paddling, it's proof of curvature. Well, ignoring obviously that the one on the right is closer to reality, which is obviously the flat Earth model. It doesn't matter whichever way you look at it. Things get smaller with distance, and this is the effect that we'll have. So anytime that we see these wind turbines on an observation, you cannot default go back and say, look, they're going over the curvature of the Earth. Even Slice Arcane has modelled it out. Obviously, he's modelled this with things getting smaller and going over the curve, so it's a greater drop off. And this one, he's just modelled it things getting smaller, so as to the flat plane. But ultimately, you get the same effect. This is reality. This is a flat Earth model. This is a globe Earth model. It's indistinguishable for the most part. So whenever you see these, you can't just say it's proof of
I
curve.
think, Ranty, the ball earthers want to know the cause of things disappearing, because what they've done is they've comprised a list of reasons that we give for the disappearance of objects and sunsets. So Nathan just said perspective here. We've spoken about compression and things like that. Like, is it a mixture of answers, or is there a single
yeah, I mean, I agree with all the list. Literally all the things on that list are just another example of something that could be used for obstruction. Nathan got in touch with me about this video that was put out. I had a quick look, and what I determined was, in this location, Lamont St. Nelson Bay in Australia, we only get 1 meter tides, which means that at any one point the tide is only ever going to be 3 feet higher or 3 feet lower. And this is from his video. It's only a couple of minute video, and we have 2 observations from the same point. And obviously what we can see the lighthouse in the center clearly on one, and just the light on another. Now, if you look and you know that there is only a 3 foot difference between high tide and low tide, and look how relatively close this lower one is in relation to the horizon, or the perceived horizon. I'm going to call it the perceived horizon, because if we look across on the right hand side, look at all this extra land that we're seeing over here, and it's hidden here. And look at this land mass over here that's obviously visible in this top image, but not visible in the lower image. Now, if we put a line of sight from, let's go over here, and we just this line of sight in here. So top of the top of the lighthouse is level with whatever we're seeing over here. And when we put this in here and we look across, we're seeing nothing. It's hidden. Whatever we're trying to see is no longer visible. Now, it's a perfect example of what you're actually, when you compare like for like, and it's almost a 3 meter swell. It's not that huge, really. But look at what's being taken away from you. Look at what's missing. And it's just another example of, we have atmosphere to contend with whenever we're doing these observations. And the globers don't take that into account.
Shout out to Leonardo Gonzalez for the super chat. Just to answer your question, Spurs, yes, Tim Osman's done a really great job of listing all the things that get called Earth curve, and every single thing on that list will get called Earth curve. So they only have one assertion. Earth curve. Doesn't matter what it is that you're observing or what the effect is that's occurring, it's going to get called Earth curve regardless. So all of those effects detailed by the globeheads, at the time I'm sure they thought they were being really clever. Oh, we only have one assertion, we're really concise. We say it's Earth curve, always. What have you got? Look at this great big list, you can't just say flat Earth always. Well, no, there's a whole multitude of things that can cause things to disappear in the distance. They've got a whole list of them, all of which will get called Earth curve because it's the only assertion they can make.
Why don't they have a whole list of all the places the curvature has been officially measured, and all the ways that the Earth has been measured to spin? They don't have those types of lists, but they have lists of the reasons why things disappear in the atmosphere. It's very cute to me.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I was laughing along while Tim Osman was making that example. I was like, brilliant. So you're actually going to list out all the things that you call Earth curve and think that that's somehow a win. Okie dokie. So I was called ranting. I was like, get this list down. This is brilliant. It's all the things they call Earth curve.
The thing is, I was just thinking that, because if each flat earther is going to have a different answer for why things disappeared. So on that list, one of us will say one thing, unless they're producing a list for us that we can compile and say it's the list of those things, we're all going to be given a different story, so to speak, if you understand what I mean. Like you've just said perspective, and then, I'm saying compression, but we're seeing at different times. So again, how I think this is why they get away with it, because they all can sing off the same hymn sheet and say Earth curve, right?
Yeah.
So what do like I said, we're going to have different answers. So how do we kind of combat that? That's why I'm kind of
I think one thing we need to look. One word we need to talk about is diffraction. And I know the globers have kept asking Nathan what is diffraction, But realistically, it explains so much in the observations that we see. You know, when we see like fake waves or dirty air and that kind of stuff, but mainly fake waves. You know what I'm talking about when I say fake waves, guys? 'Cause I've said it. I've shown you many examples of that. And that to me is just the Aries discs not being able to keep all the information in the same pixel. So things get disjointed, and obviously the information, the pixel has to make a decision which information it's going to show. So when it's jogging around and showing you a bit of atmosphere, then a bit of the water, and it's like the fake waves, that's just diffraction in real time. Whenever we see those fake waves, that is literally diffraction of the camera happening right in front of you.
Sorry, I don't want to. I hate having to go back, but you guys move so fast. Look, that first picture that you had of the windmills, right? This is what I'm trying to get at. This is just a round tube, and this is just kind of modeling the Earth globe, right? Now, if these pins were windmills, right, and there's Earth curvature, I know that if in real life we'd have to do this from a far distance with great, really tall objects. But how come whenever we see any pictures or models, we never see it like this? We never see the angles of as the curvature is occurring, that we never see the angles of the objects, the towers.
You mean you don't see tilted buildings? We don't see tilted buildings. We never see tilted buildings. If you go on a plane and you look out,
he's asking why. Can I just answer him?
Yeah, sure.
Because it's flat.
Well, can you guys try and make Earth globe again? Come on. Thanks.
Yeah, we don't see tilted buildings. We never see tilted buildings ever, and we never will.
Randy, can I get you to bring up your first observation again?
Sorry, can you do what? Sorry?
Can I get you to bring up your first observation with the windmills? That first one.
Hang on. Let me see which one you're trying to get first.
The one before that one.
Oh, you mean this?
With the wind turbines?
This one?
That's the one. Yeah.
That's
the one. Yeah. The one thing, like, you know how you drew the two lines on there? The only thing that I can see an issue with is if you look at the picture in the middle, the turbines aren't actually lining up properly. It looks like you've got the first one at the front there, and then the second one dips down, the next one dips down, and then they kind of come back up again, then dip down again. So it's almost like the line it's got the last four turbines on your illustrated diagrams have got to kind of come up again. Or is that just my eye? Does it look like that?
That is through the center of the hubs, you know, that is actually right through the center of the hubs. I can actually see the end of the hub on this one, just there.
Okay, yeah. I just didn't have your screen on full. Like, it just looked like they were dipping and then coming back up. So I thought that might have affected your outcome there.
No.
All good.
And as you can see, that, you know, I've lined it up correctly on both.
It could be the still. This is actually, sorry, just to maybe give you an answer to this. This is taken from a video. So this still of the turbines is from a pan that Ranty did when he dug it out at my request. So there may be a slightly better still. That's, I don't know. I can see what you're saying though.
I've got loads of these, mate. Literally, I could go and get this all day long for you.
Sure, but I'm
just using this because this is the one that he modelled out. So he modelled this exact observation.
Sure, but in the real world image, I think his point is that between turbine 3, if you count them from the front to the back, and turbine 4, there's like a bowing. They look like they've got a bigger gap. There's like a bowing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, possibly a better still from the video required.
Okay.
Not that
Do you
I think
reckon
it
you
makes
could do
difference.
a still on my first video on my channel, Ranty? Because the guys over on Jose's channel ripped mine a new one, eh?
Okay.
I reckon it confirms globe. But,
well, let's do it another way. Let's do it from the model. Let's do it from the model on the left hand side. So this is the globe Earth model. So if I put it, if I now put it on the center of that turbine over here, I think we're a long, long way out there. That's a long way out. You know, the hub isn't down here. The hub's there. You know, that's modeling it from his. So this is his model.
What about if you bring it across from the other one? Does it do the same thing?
I'm sure it'll be nearer. Let me do it from the center to the center. Then we bring that over. Sure, that's nearer to reality. So you can see that it's the center one.
And what this is based off the curve calculator, is it? These
Yeah,
two...
distances, the observer height, all that.
Okay.
So with that, I'll say if you're watching this on the Nathan Oakley channel, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. However, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, unfortunately, this is where we bid you farewell. Massive thanks to all who tuned in, smashed the super chat, liked, comment, shared, subscribed, all that good stuff. As I say, be sure to stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Would push this as proof of a globe when it's absolutely not. It's just things get smaller.
Now I think, Lanty.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not bothered. I'm just saying.
Well,
Look,
my rot nest video that I put on here, I think it was last week, my first observation.
Can I have shall we have a look at that?
That got torn to shreds on Jose on Skype. They reckon it proves flat Earth, a globe. So,
what's your channel? What's your channel, please?
Mind warped.
Mind warped. And go to the channel.
Yep, that's the one just down there.
This one?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. And which observation was it? Let me look at the video.
It was the number one. Flat Earth observation number one.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I can tell you that you've got a lot of crappy air at the, you know, what you're trying to look over. It's not very bright. Wow.
Yeah, well, I think the still we were looking at was about 1 minute 23, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about here.
Yeah, right there. So let me just share.
Okay. So where was your observation taken from, first and foremost? Can I just pop it into Google Earth, because I'd like to have a look at that?
Yeah. So I've actually got Google Earth as well. Yeah, I can actually bring up the Skype conversation and show you.
Could you tell me what beach you were on?
Yep, Trig Beach.
Trig Beach. Where's that? In Western Australia?
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
This is a video that we did a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, because I'm really interested in this. Oh, right. Okay.
This is the one. Yep.
This is the one that I've still got up. So they said that this was proof of what?
Curve.
Proof of curve, right? Okay. And did they give you any details as to why they thought that?
Yeah. So this, what they're saying is this lighthouse that you see here on the left-hand side.
This on the left.
They reckon that this one here on the left. They reckon that one is Bathurst Lighthouse.
Okay.
And that Wodgmup Lighthouse is below the horizon. So I don't think that's true. I actually think that's Wodgmup. And then see how there's a second small one next to it?
Okay, so let's get your line of sights up. So you were over here, were you? Burns Beach.
I was.
No,
I wasn't at Burns Beach.
Were you down here?
Come down a little bit. Keep coming down a little bit. Keep going.
Crikey, where
Keep
were
going. Yeah, this is not where we were. Keep going down a bit. No, hang on. Do you want me to do it on my screen?
Yeah, I prefer it on here because I can triangulate it pretty quick for you. Were you further away?
Yeah, I was further down.
You're further down.
Or he's got it up, Ranty, so if you want to cross-reference on his icon in the Hangout.
Yeah, sure, that was probably better, actually. Where are we? Mind warped. Okay.
I can actually go on, where are we? Google Earth.
You see, this is the area that Wolfie does his photography from, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Okay, hang on, I'm just going to bring my screen up. Okay. So this is on Google Earth Pro. Okay, so I was right here. So this.
So jealous.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah,
I
I can
can.
see,
I was
yeah.
just saying, I'm so jealous. It looks lovely.
You see, if you put a pin there, so if you take that ruler away,
yeah.
If you go back to where you do your observation from,
yeah.
So if you go back to it and you put a pin in, you see it on the top of the. Yeah, so you grab a pin, just drop it somewhere there. There we go. So when you drop it and you click save or whatever it is, you should have a pop up that pops up. Untitled place mark.
No, it's not coming up.
Yeah. Just right click on where it says untitled place mark.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, maybe not.
Why is it not?
No.
Why is it not popping up the GPS coordinates of that? That's really weird. It should do. You know, when you drop a pin.
Well, from this
here
point,
we go. Yeah, it's got the GPS coordinates here on the side.
I was going to say, if you
there you go. You because you had it off screen. That's why. So if you pop that in the side,
I run two screens. So
can you take over with the coordinates, Ranty?
Yeah. So if you just grab the latitude first, double click that latitude area.
Yeah.
Double click it, and then Control C, and then copy it, and then put it in the side chat. And then you do the same with the longitude. I can literally just grab that. There we go. So I can stick that now. So I've copied that first one. And I can find it now on Google Earth. There we go. One.
Next
That's
one's
easy
in the
enough.
notes, Ranty.
Sorry?
Put both in.
Yeah, I'm going. There we go. Hey.
Just saves you getting a Google Earth tutorial rather than Ranty can
Wait.
I'll stick you on now, Ranty, and you can carry on.
Right. Okay.
Just click on him locally, mind warp. Just click on Ranty's icon.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So let's have a scroll around and let's have a look at your line of sight. I mean, typically, when you say you got slaughtered, was it like they were pretty sure?
It wasn't slaughtered, but they were just saying that it proved that Wodjamuk was below the horizon, and then that the lighthouse we were seeing was a different lighthouse, which I don't agree with, but yeah.
Okay, so where are these lighthouses? Because
it's probably easier if I show you.
Okay,
sorry,
so
man.
What's the name of the lighthouse that was hidden?
Okay, Wodjamuk.
How do you spell that?
So W. Sorry, guys, a bit painful. It's hard. The Aboriginal words are really hard to spell. Where is it? I think it's just Wadjamup.
Got it.
Wodjamuk.
Got it. I'll search for that now. It'll take me straight to it.
I'll give you the coordinates for it if you want.
Right, okay. So I'm sure I've got it there. So I'm going to save that.
What the hell is that?
And then we're going to go to elevation profile.
What is it? What's that? What is it? That's the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a clear line of sight to it. So you've got a clear line of sight. There's nothing obstructing it. The nearest object is about, it's only a couple of kilometers away, which is 20 meters tall. So you've got a direct line of sight to that, right? So where's this other light you're talking about?
And you've also got to draw a line of sight to another lighthouse that's at the front of the island called Bathurst Lighthouse.
Bathurst, right? Okay. Let me find that now.
So if you go from that exact point,
Bathurst,
and then you need to do a third point of observation at the wind turbine as well.
Okay. It'll take us to Bathurst.
There's Bathurst Lighthouse there.
Okay.
And then if you come in a little bit more, just so I'll let you know where the wind turbine is.
Can you see it from there? Let me have a look.
No, you've got to go east a bit.
Hang on. Let's have a look. So it's on the right hand side, so it'll be over here somewhere, won't it?
Yeah, and now come down a bit.
Yeah.
Go down.
Oh, it's in here somewhere.
Yeah, just can you zoom out a little bit? Come down. Yeah, it's down further. Yeah.
Have a look.
Yeah, I'll give you the coordinates.
Yeah, if you could do. Be easier.
Coordinates are.
We got. Oh, I can see it.
I'll just copy them into you, man.
Yeah, I found it. So there we go. So we've got 3 lines of sight there. So that right. Hang on, let me pop that in. Right, dead easy now. So we've got 3 lines of sight. Have you already done all this yourself?
Yeah, I did, but it was Dean over on Skype chat that just did all this and reckons it's proving globe.
Who's Dean? Never heard of him.
Sorry, hang on. No, it was Glenn.
Oh, Glenn. Right, okay.
Yeah.
So Ruhif. Right, so okay, so we've got Lighthouse 1 on the left.
Yep.
That on the right. And then much higher you should have Bathurst. Wajima. Let's have a look at your image.
So what he's saying is that tall one is clearly Wajima.
Yeah.
I think that's Wajima.
That's on a hill. Well, that's on a hill, and the top one. The top one is the same height as the top one is the same height as the turbine in perspective view. So that turbine has to be at least a couple of 100 feet tall. So do you have the height of Bathurst?
But see, the other thing is Wajima is built on the highest point of the island, which is a 49-meter high hill above sea level, plus 39-meter high lighthouse on top of that. So that's Wajima there on the left-hand side.
I would kind of agree at the minute, just by the pure fact that as we're looking at it, it appears higher than this turbine, and I know how high these turbines can be. Do we have an elevation, a height of this turbine here?
Yeah, the turbine is Bathurst is 19 meters high, and the wind turbine is. Let me just double check.
This could be more useful than you think, because all of this stuff is elevated and at distance. None of the bottoms of it are in the diffraction limit.
Yeah, but what he's trying to say is that Bathurst, which should be down here in this little cove, because it's only 19 meters tall. Bathurst.
I
he's trying to say this is Bathurst.
No, what they're saying is that tall one is Bathurst, and then off to the left, under the sea level, is Wodgema.
No.
That's what they were saying. I'm like, no, that's not correct.
That's not correct. No, I agree.
That tall one there is Wodgema. If anything, that tall one there is Wodgema. And see that second middle one next to it?
Yeah.
I reckon that's Bathurst.
No, it wouldn't be on the line of sight.
Oh, sorry.
It would be too small to be in view. But yeah, I mean, let's have a look at Google Earth. Yeah,
it's definitely Wodgema.
Yeah, it is, because there's Bathurst here.
Yeah.
And then on the hill up here, because you can see it's on a hill, is the what?
That's Wodgema.
Wodgema. Yeah, I agree with that.
So where's the turbine?
See how it's on the hill?
So where's the turbine then?
Here.
And the turbine's off to the right.
Do we know a height of that?
I
mean, that's 24 meters above sea level anyway.
Just before you go on, this was the thing that I'm most interested in, because we've got three things. But if we just take the lighthouse and the turbine isn't going to be losing anything on the bottom due to a limited angle, because it's at elevation, but it's still at distance. So in other words,
the turbine is 18 meters high. Sorry.
18 meters.
Excellent.
Okay.
We got 18.
So it's 1 meter. It's 1 meter shorter than Bathurst. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Bathurst is 19 meters. The wind turbine. Sorry, I've got that around the wrong way. Let me just double check. Hang on. The wind turbine is 18 meters and Bathurst is 19 meters.
Yeah, but what about
that's from ground to height?
No, give us the total from sea level.
I have no idea what that is.
Well, you just have to take the height of the turbine plus the ground it sits on.
Well, yeah, the elevation of the ground is 25 meters. So it's sat on a 25 meter high hill. And what's the height of the turbine? How many
turbine
meters?
is 18 meters.
18. So that's 43 meters. So to the top of that turbine here, this part is 43 meters above actual sea level, right? And what's the focal height of Bathurst?
19 meters.
That's the focal height. So that top part of it, where the light comes out, is 19 meters, right? Hang on.
Yeah.
So
and what Wodgema I know for a fact.
Well, how can that be higher than that? If that's 43 meters above actual sea level, and that's 19 meters above sea level, how is that? And that's nearer. How is that higher than this?
That was going to be my point. Yeah. So we've got a very useful example where the only explanation, because you can't blame Earth curve, the only explanation is perspective.
Well, Wodgema is further back.
Yes, that's right.
Wodgema is on a 49 meter high. So that hill is 49 meters above sea level. So that is what we're seeing. Plus, you've got the 9 meter high Wodgema lighthouse on top of that.
Okay, right. Let me get some calculations done here, because they'll have a different angular size to each other as well. So
hold on. Wouldn't it be more interesting to let's forget the fact that they're not on the deck and just run the curve calcs as though they were? So in other words, you raise the sea level and see how much they say they should be, the difference between the two. Yeah, based on curve calcs only. They said that there should be
22 meters. That's what they said. We should lose 22 meters. But if you lost 22 meters, that doesn't make a difference for you. It's still a.
What about Wodgema? What's that on? How high is Wodgema?
Wodgema Hill is 49 meters above sea level.
Is that the focal height?
That's the hill. From the top of the hill to sea level is 49 meters. That's just the hill. And then the lighthouse, I think, is 39 meters. Let me just double check. 39 or 49.
Let me just do
it. Got to get it right, because if you make a mistake and, we put it out there, so make sure the height.
Yeah.
Focal height, WADG.
Wodgema Lighthouse is 80 meters high with a focal height of 80 meters.
80 meters, right, there we go. Right, perfect. Oh, where was I talking there? So that's 80 meters, right? Okay.
So focal height, that means from sea level, right?
Yes, it does, yeah.
Yeah, so it's 80 meters above sea level. You've got 39 meters for the lighthouse itself, and roughly 40 meters for the hill.
Yeah. Right in there. And how far back is it? Because obviously one's much nearer and one's much further away. What's the distance between the two? Do we know?
Between which 2 points, sorry?
So I'll work it out. A couple of miles.
So from the wind turbine to Wodgma?
Yeah. About 1.73.
These distances aren't as big as I thought they were.
But then again, that's another thing. That only 1.73 miles.
2.7 kilometers. 2.79 kilometers between the two.
Yeah. And Bathurst Lighthouse is. Do we have a focal point of Bathurst?
Let me have a look.
See which one it is.
Let me know when there's a little gap so I can tell you about something that we're going to be doing tomorrow, Auntie. I'm hoping you'll be around.
Bathurst Lighthouse is only 30 meters. Right, okay, so let's have a look. 30 meters, which would be nearer. Yeah, well, to be fair, it could well be Bathurst. Because that
well,
again
the focal height of Bathurst Lighthouse is 30 meters.
Let me have a look at where this turbine is.
It can't be Bathurst Lighthouse because that hill. I've been there. That hill is not. It's a small hill, and you're seeing the whole thing. And I worked it out. I'm 27 kilometers away.
That's 3/4 of a mile further.
And it's got to be Wodgma. Has to be.
Well, let's remove that, and that. And let's put it in the other way, and that's 30 meters. But yeah, that's nearer. That's nearer. Further away. It matches up better to Bathurst, to be fair. But even so, I mean, what's the problem with this being Bathurst anyway?
Well, I mean, if it's Bathurst, it still proves that it's flat because I shouldn't see any of that because it's still 27 kilometers away.
Yeah,
I think it worked out to be it was 17.6 miles.
Yeah, what's the problem? So we're agreeing that it's Bathurst, and it's like 17 miles. Well, hang on, let's have a look at the distance. It's not quite 17, it's 15.54. Do you have an elevation above sea level, or did you pan around when you did this?
I've been working on about 3 to 4 meters.
Okay, so let's plug these in.
My measurement was from that point to Wodgma. That's where I was getting my distance. So adding an extra 2.7 kilometers or so, 3 kilometers.
You're working on meters, so let's put what 14 feet above sea level. Would that be about right?
Yeah. Sorry, mate. We're in metric over here. So.
Okay. So there should be like 45 feet of hidden. The focal height's what? 30 meters. That's about 100 feet, isn't it?
Yeah. So we shouldn't see that hill.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. Do you know the height of the lighthouse itself, not excluding its focal height?
Of Bathurst. Bathurst is 19 meters.
Wow, that's flat as a pancake then. So if that is Bathurst, that's 19, and its focal height is 30, which means that would be 11 meters then, yeah?
Yeah, and then the wind turbine is 18 meters.
Well, what's wrong with that? That's a stunning flat Earth proof. Where's the 45 feet of missing curvature there?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd be all over that. I'd be grabbing by the hands and saying, yeah, it's Bathurst, so what? But you can tell it's just a murky day. You're not going to see much further than the distances that you've got. You know, you can see how unclear the visibility is. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Oh, it was a crappy day.
Yeah, I mean, if that is,
I even said that in the video.
oh yeah, let them have Bathurst. That's Bathurst, right? Okay, then where's the missing 45 feet? Because if that's 19 meters and its focal height is 30, this is where the curve should be, right here. That's all you should see.
If you type in Bathurst Lighthouse in Google, right? Let me just screen share this image.
No, we don't need to do any of that. You've just got it here. It's as good a proof as what I do over here.
Just let me do a quick screen share, and you'll see what I mean. Like, we're pretty much seeing this whole thing. Where are we? So that's. Can you guys see that?
No, we see you at the moment.
You need to select your screen.
I think you've unshared. You were sharing.
There we go. Can you see that now?
Yep.
That little hill is Bathurst. That's that hill with the island. So you're seeing that whole thing. Pretty much, you're seeing from the ocean all the way up there. You're not losing anything in that footage.
Yeah, let them have Bathurst. I'd be all over that. I'd be like, yeah. You know, because all right, you want it to be
They've
Bathurst.
done me a favour more than anything, haven't they?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Cool. Right, this is my gap. So, Randy, are you about tomorrow? And are we, for that matter?
What?
Are you about tomorrow for the debate?
Possibly.
Okay.
Why what?
So we've been using Google Earth quite extensively, and obviously it's been decried by the Globeheads as their model in the first instance. However, a few weeks, or maybe even less than that, maybe a week ago, John was on the debate, and at the end of one of the debates, he just used Google Earth to compare the drop that's asserted by Soundly when taking a picture of Pontchartrain, the bridge, versus Google Earth's claim that there is no drop. And they've gone all over it like flies on shit. And I think it's superb. It's so simple. It's so elegant. But that's why they're on it. When you're over the target, you get a lot of flack. So I've asked John to come back on and basically go over it again and explain the simplicity of it. Now, you and I both know that at some level, I know this, I'm being careful with my words and you'll see why in a minute. At some level, you're transported into the plain view. Literally a plain view map, right, Ranty? On Google Earth. And sea level is exactly as the name suggests. And the references that they give you from one side of, say, Lake Pontchartrain to the other is that there is no drop. That's what Google Earth asserts. Make no mistake about it. However, Soundly asserts there's a drop value, a measurable drop from your position on one side of that lake, based on the curvature of the Earth. And he's telling you there's a drop and showing you there's a curve. So why isn't it there? Well, the answer's simple. The map is referencing a flat plane because it's flat. So, as I say, I'm going to get John to come on and detail that because they're all over it like flies on shit, as they should be in opposition to this because it's a damn fine flat Earth proof. And Ruhif was on Arwin's show saying exactly this, telling Arwin how flat is actually curved. But it's excellent. So anyway, hopefully you'll be around for that tomorrow, Auntie, because you've got an extensive knowledge of Google Earth.
Right, yeah, I've got something to show you.
Go ahead.
I've got something really cool to show, actually.
Yeah, show us, and then it'll be the last thing on this after show.
Right, hang on, let me just get rid of that. Right, where are we?
Just quickly, can I just wanted to thank you, Auntie, man. Like, you're a great help, eh? Really appreciate it.
You're going to enjoy this even more then. I've just gone into Google Earth.
I'll second that. Ranty's ace.
If I go into Google Earth, this is the direct line of sight looking at Bathurst Lighthouse, and you've got the hill there, and you've got this little hut, and then obviously it starts to creep up again, but you've got this little hut. It's very distinguishable. It's got like two little peaks on it and what have you right next to it. Yep. If they want to claim that's Bathurst, look at that. What's that there? What's that there?
Sorry, but if it was that lighthouse and you can see the wind turbine behind it at a greater distance, shouldn't all of that mid-foreground obstruction slightly behind the lighthouse also be visible based on the fact that you can see the turbine at a greater distance than Bathurst?
And what do you think those two things are either side of Bathurst in the footage? Like,
Yeah, I don't think this is the same lighthouse. I don't care that it's the Globehead's claim against your original claim. My problem with it would be is if it is this lighthouse and you see in the turbine at the distance it's an extra couple of kilometres, right? Well, then you would also see, based on the visibility making it capable of being seen, i.e. the turbine, you'd have to see all of this other stuff that's just behind the lighthouse as well, and none of it's evidenced.
Yeah, I think that's just down to the atmosphere, Nathan.
Yeah, no. If you can see that turbine, then you can see that green shit, whatever it is, that's directly behind this lighthouse. Even though it's in the near foreground, because obviously this picture's taken at a closer distance, this would still be evidenced in the picture, this green stuff that's directly behind it, if you can see the turbine, and you can. Because this isn't 2.5 kilometres away, this stuff directly behind it, is it?
No.
Right, so therefore, if you can see the turbine, and this is the same lighthouse, you should see all of this, the green stuff. And you don't. Mm-hmm. You see these two other things, whatever the hell they are, but I don't think it's the same lighthouse. Sorry.
I do.
Okay, fair enough.
And I'll tell you for why, because if I trace this line, if I do I'm going to do this now.
So Nate, do you think it's Wodjamuk?
I don't know which lighthouse it is. It's just based on what's in front of me now. I see something that would be in the mid-ground that would be evidenced, but it isn't there.
I actually thought that the tall one there was Wodjamuk, and then that smaller one next to it was Bathurst. That's what I was thinking. But
what we've got here, we've got land that you can detail. What's obviously happening here is the camera's picking out the land, and it's not got enough information to capture the trees, or maybe these are the trees, maybe these are part of the trees here, and this is a very similar profile.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Maybe that is where it intersects the lighthouse, but then that would make it an especially long lighthouse, which it isn't. I don't know. It's to be honest, Ranty's already said this. It seems to not matter which way we dice this. It's still proving flat either way. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Exactly. I mean, look at this. The contours match up perfectly.
Agreed.
These trees. This fluffy stuff at the top is probably the trees behind. That's the lighthouse. I'm pretty sure. And this area in this location here. Yeah, that's where this house is. I mean, I don't see the problem.
Can I ask a question? Is the lighthouse much further away than the wind turbine, or the other way?
No, the turbine's
further.
Further away. Turbine's further away.
It's about 3 kilometers away.
Then I think that the tower may be stretched because it's in a miraging zone, while the wind turbine is too close to be in it. That is an effect that's applying.
No, but the wind turbine's further away.
Yeah, that's what I said.
What?
Wind turbine's further.
Yeah, the wind turbine's further.
Okay, that makes it very confusing then.
But this is the point. You know, if when you plug in the calculations for Google Earth, right, the top of the lighthouse here, which is visible, is basically 100 feet. Well, 45 feet of that, including refraction, let's give them some refraction, should be hidden to Earth curve. So essentially, let me put that in. And what we're going to say is anything below that line should not be seen. That's all we should have seen of the lighthouse, if that's the case.
Yeah, only based on geometry, though. Perspective exclusive mathematics that take whole numbers and actual sizes and exclude perspective. Based on those numbers, we should see that line that you've drawn, right?
Yeah, exactly, and that's the reason I brought this observation to light, because what Ranty's done here is exactly what I thought.
Yeah,
should see.
So yeah, okay. I'm quite happy to accept that it's Bathurst Lighthouse. Now, can you tell me where's the curvature?
Yeah, there isn't any curvature. And on that decisive note, I will say a massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of you who've joined us in the Nathan Oakley premiering stream. Also, of course, a massive thank you to all of today's debating panel for making this after show possible. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum at nathanoakley.com. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!